Everybody settled in?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't have a whole lot planned without Max here. We're just gonna do. Might be end up being just a short session. We're gonna do a lot of stuff around town here before you guys go. So to recap, you guys have all met up in Tosin. There was a bit of a scuffle with some goblins. The mayor asked you guys to investigate that, and after a 3-day trek through the wilderness, you found yourselves on the outskirts of the swamp in a temple of Zithraxis, where you were confronted by orcs and goblins performing some kind of ritual. You defeated them easily. Those of you who were searching for the mirror, it was not here. And you guys continued on to the goblin camp, where you had, quite honestly, a huge fight. But you were able to scare off most of the goblins that you didn't kill. And were confronted by an orc barbarian named Gornva Bloodletter. Not that you learned his name, but that was his name. He had 2 hand axes on him, which were cursed, but thanks to Vraak's abilities, Vraak was able to remove the curses from the hand axes. I believe Ildain got one. Don't know what you guys decided to do with the other. Among the loot, you found +3 armor because my random loot table decided to be really nice to you guys. And now Ildain is damn near impossible to hit.
Word.
Only thing that would have made that worse is if it had been adamantine, and then I could never crit her again. I'd have to throw like black pudding or something at you guys to deteriorate it. I don't know. Actually, can adamantine be affected by a black pudding? I don't know that it can. Things to look up later. But among the things there, you found a war map, which showed some kind of strange gate in the Fire Pass that the orcs have discovered and are using that to plan an invasion of Remha. You have no idea when this invasion is supposed to start, how long it's going to take. You just know that these were forward observers. This was a scout team sent to create havoc by training up the goblins in the area and using them to attack Tosin. Tosin being an important target due to it providing most of the continent's food, due to them being the agricultural breadbasket of the world. And you guys found horses. Everybody's got a mount now. Winter, I don't think you posted what your horse's name is yet, but I'm sure you'll get to that.
Don't name them Winter.
Yeah, the DM will
Don't
definitely
fall into the trap we all
never
did.
kill your horse, promise.
Yeah, we're your dog.
Well, we're getting there. I was very happy that you logged off last week, Caden, because immediately after you did and we got back, you guys were on your way back to Tosin. It was a much quicker ride on your horses. Met about a half day out by Joffrey and a couple of militiamen with some very sad news for Thrandil, as there had been some type of attack on his father's shop and home. And Elrindel Wildson, Thrandil's father, was killed, along with Nadine, the Saint Bernard, who was as big as an owlbear cub. And you guys made your way back to town at a pace. Monsters be damned. You came along the scene. The militia were gathered at the house, helping to clean up. Thrandil buried Nadine. There was a note discovered by the militia that said, I told you I'd see you again, EB, which everybody kind of deduced was Everon Blackthorn.
I thought it stood for evil bastard myself.
The former ranger alongside Thrandil in the army. This emotionally affected Thrandil pretty hard. and he donned his old army uniform, grabbed his father's longbow, which had some special features. It's a homebrew item that I sent to Eric. So if you find him using something that he didn't have before, just it probably comes from his bow, his father's bow. And Vraak again, and Ildain consoled Thrandil. Vraak preserved the body with a ceremony. And you guys were debating whether or not you were going to use Speak with Dead. I don't know whether or not you guys were going to choose to do that. If you still do, that's fine. You went to Logan's Last Chance, the tavern, and drinks were free. And you guys kind of held a memorial service there for Elrendil, and all of the townsfolk and the militia came in to pay their respects to Thrandil. To which everybody went to bed, and some things happened in off-time roleplay in the Discord to take note of. Mordella had a very interesting dream. She was visited by Lyra. Thrandil, you were provided a map from Logan.
Yeah.
That's it's got some markings and stuff on it that aren't on typical maps. They're from when Logan himself was a wannabe adventurer and trying to make his way out there, and things he ran into out there. And from there, we're going to start in the morning. Everybody awakens at the tavern, and you get word from the militia that the mayor hears that you guys are going to be heading to the capital. So she's going to be preparing a couple carriages for you guys with supplies and things like that. And now that you've got horses and you can pull them, but it's going to take a day or two to get those ready. So you guys have a day or two to explore Tosin, to do things here, anything you want to do. And Timber tells you guys that he needs to do something privately for his lady. He excuses himself, and he will be missing for the day. And with that, I turn the table over to you guys at the tavern.
While Winter is happy for the carriages, she absolutely refuses to be in the same carriage with Sir Dennigan. Making that clear now that it's not something she will ever be okay with. Like, if that happens, Sir Dennigan is probably not walking out of that carriage unharmed.
They're probably not going to be up
I'm
to
not
his
saying
standards
Winter
anyways.
would kill him, but there'd probably get to a point where she's like, a little breath weapon probably wouldn't hurt him that bad. She does feel for Thrandil. Less about his father passing and more about his dog passing. That strikes a chord with her, and she wants to give her condolences for that. She doesn't know Thrandil's father, so it's not really there's no real anything felt there. Like, she offers condolences because Thrandil is someone she knows, and he did lose someone important to him. But Thrandil's father was not someone important to her, so she feels less for his passing and more for the dog being killed, which she is going to. She was already planning on killing the bastard, but she's gonna make it extra painful for that. That's her plan.
Yeah. Thank you for your
I've
condolences.
got Speak with Dead prepared now for the day. So if we wanted to do that, we can at your convenience. It's not really something I want to pressure.
All right. Ooh.
Ildain would not want to be present for the speak with the dead thing. So she would probably go find someone to send a message to her like old troops or something like that.
While there's not like a mages guild or something like that in Tosin, at the Temple of Aranthia, there are magister types. There are mages who have divine magic and somebody who could send you a message if you wanted to go to the temple.
Yeah, that's where I would go.
Okay.
As a side note, Mordella offers to Thrandil that Lyra says that your father walks with Callisto now.
Thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you, and I thank you all for being here at my time of need. I know most of you don't know me very well, and majority of you never knew my father at all either. But I can say for certain, if he were here and he saw you all, just even paying him a miracle of respect like you're doing, yeah, he was a man of the people. He loved his community. He loved his friends. He loved anybody who was good and just. And I it's hard to speak on his behalf, but I know if you're here, he'd be thinking all of you, and it means a lot to me as well. And to everybody else in Tosin that came tonight, I wanted to let you know I'm gonna be leaving for a while. I might not be returning, and I've made arrangements to have my father's property turned into a memorial and a garden just in his honor. And hopefully nobody decides to go beyond my deed and build on this land. Hopefully it can stay the Wildson refuge for as long as possible. But with that, tonight will probably be my last night in Tosin. And I'm going to be leaving for forever. So thank you all for coming. And it means a lot. Good night. And he kind of sits down back at his table and just kind of nods over to his allies.
I kind of want to walk up to Thrandil and pull him off to the side a little bit.
Hey.
And just, I want to iterate that this spell that I'm casting doesn't bring his soul back. All we can do is ask questions. So
I
if
understand.
that changes your mind on you wanting to do it, I understand. But it won't be your father that we're talking.
It's grim business, but the nature of revenge, I say it's something we need to do if we are to give him proper justice.
And at that, I will follow your lead.
Thrandil will look over to everybody else, and those of you who want to come, you're welcome to. But I'm going to see if I can't find out where this bastard has gone to. It's another hunt in front of us. And yeah, he's going to begin to stand up and leave.
And while your
Winter
father's body was in the tavern during the memorial, it's since been moved out.
Okay.
It's definitely Logan would not want this kind of magic performed in the tavern.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
the body's been
Makes sense.
moved back. I'm going to say back to the property. That way you'll be able to bury him with Nadine and your mother. Who's also buried on the property. So
Nice.
yeah. Who's all going along for the Speak with the Dead? I will do my best. We did not get questions to prep me.
Mordella
but
would not miss this.
Absolutely.
Winter will also go, but before she does, she turns to Thrandil and goes, "You speak of justice and the kindness your father would see in us, but let me make one thing clear. There is no kindness, no justice in the vengeance that I will deliver upon the soul that has taken these people from you, if I find him first." And then she walks off.
Understood.
Yeah, you guys make your way through the streets. Anybody who's going. The Archer's Edge is a bit on the outskirts of the city. As you guys make your way down there, you guys can't see the map, but I am moving your pieces for our viewers there. Moment. And Thrandil. You guys have made your way to the south side of town to the Archer's Edge.
Do you have a game board up right now?
I
On
have
D&D Beyond?
not on D&D Beyond. I have it up in the recording software with your pieces
Okay.
on it.
Gotcha.
It's just the city map of Tosin. If you guys wanted to look at it, it's in maps and locations. I just have the city map of Tosin pulled up with your guys' pictures on it. That way I can kind of keep track, because I knew you guys were going to split up. So it was mostly for me to know
Cool.
where people are, so that as I'm jumping around and people are going to different places, I'll be able to remember where you guys go.
Gotcha.
So you guys make your way there, and there's a couple people from the militia there, kind of starting on the cleanup, but as they see you guys coming, they give you guys your space. And your father's body is laid out in the back on some boards, so he's up off the ground, and he is covered with the tarp. And there's still a mound of dirt next to where he's laying, where you buried Nadine. And you guys approach the body, and Vraak, you begin setting up for this spell. What's it look like when Vraak goes to perform this ritual? Like, do you set up candles? Do you draw a ritual circle? How do you do this?
I think all that would. I think the candles and the circle would feel a little bit blasphemous.
Okay.
It's more of a. It's more of a conversation with my deity, with Izmir.
Okay.
Just, I think, like any other time she casts a spell, her eyes would go white. She'd look up at the sky, and you'd hear her whispering. And if you were close enough to hear her, you'd hear her whispering in Dwarvish. And it's a simple request that we be allowed to speak with the animating spirit of Thrandil's father. It doesn't say that I have to be touching the body, but I think it feels appropriate if I am.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So you kneel down.
It does say I have to have burning incense, so that would be the only paraphernalia that I would have going would be the incense itself.
Right. So Vraak, you lean down, kneel down, and you place your hand on Elrindle's chest, and your eyes go white like you described. And you've already lit the incense, and there's a little cup holding the incense on each side of Elrindle's head. And you speak the Dwarvish words and ask for Ysmir to borrow the soul from Callisto to allow this to happen. And there's this stiff breeze that blows across as you guys are all gathered around there, and you kind of feel a chill on your neck. And your hand begins to rise as the chest of Elrindle raises up, head kind of lulled back, his eyes open, but there's no light in them. And you know that Elrindle is awaiting questions. You guys get 5.
We get
Yeah, I'll be
okay, so I'm
honest,
gonna
I
turn
couldn't
to
think
Thrandil.
of any good ones during the week, so I'm gonna just kind of sit out. If I think of anything, I'll type it in the chat.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn to Thrandil and let him know that we get 5 questions. And also, I want to tell you, unfortunately, the answers might not make sense. He only knows what he knew before he died,
Okay.
so he can't even speculate about the future. All he knows is his prior knowledge, and the knowledge that he gives us might be a little roundabout, I should say.
All right. Thrandil gives you a serious nod, very much wrapped up in the nature of this very grim business. um, Creature, tell me, how many were there the night of your death?
It's not really a breath, the sick. It's almost like a death rattle as the corpse draws in the air. It's really the forcing of the lungs to expand so that the vocal cords can operate. And the answer that resonates is 2.
All right.
Two.
Well, there's
That
one.
would be himself and Evard, right? Blackthorn? That's 2.
Maybe, I'm not sure. Um. Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't think of any questions.
You're good. Thrandil kind of looks back and forth between you guys.
This is your chance, Thrandil, to ask your father anything you ever wanted to ask him. You have 4 more questions.
True.
Anything. It doesn't matter if the party gets useful information. This is for you.
Okay.
Winter put a question in the chat for you to consider.
Got you.
Winter's gonna go all John Wick on his ass.
I know, I was gonna say, why would Winter want to know the answer to that? Wouldn't you rather just be ambivalent of it?
No, because see, this determines a lot of factors about his cruelty. Because if Nadine was alive, then she might have died through a skirmish in the fight. But if he died first, then that means Nadine was an additional target, that it was like a purposeful attack. It wasn't an accident, it wasn't a casualty between the two of them trying to survive. It was a purposeful act done later. So I need to know whether I'm killing him for the accidental slaying of this dog or for the murder of the dog, because one of them is going to be a lot more violent.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask the creature once more. Did Nadine die a peaceful death?
Brave dog. Fought hard.
That sick bastard. Where did they say they were going?
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Okay. 2 more. Is there anything you wanted me to know before you died?
Take my bow. Your
Hmm. All right, one last question. Hmm.
Ooh, Ildain's typing.
I thought about that, but I'm afraid he'll tell me what I don't want to hear.
Yeah, that's why
Get
I
it
typed
out.
Doesn't
it.
want vengeance. Even if he doesn't want vengeance, on a personal note, if your father doesn't, but Thrandil still does want vengeance, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say who cares what your father's wishes were. It's not like that, but you do it for yourself then, instead of for your father.
Yeah.
Because
We can
either way,
always
you're going
leave.
Forgiveness
after this
before
guy, right?
promotion.
You're not letting this go
Yeah.
by, right? So I
And
mean,
Nadine might.
Um, um, um. What was the name of your killers?
So. And you take it that's the only one he knew.
I was afraid of that. Well,
As you ask your last question, the spell leaves him, and the rest of the air that he had drawn into his lungs leaving a death rattle as the corpse slowly lowers back down. And the
Thrandil
eyes
will
close.
help him lay down. Rest easy now, father. I'll handle the rest. And he's going to look over to Vraak. I thank you for doing that.
I will bow my head, and no worries.
And Mordella, I appreciate it. Well, I say we lay him to rest, and we get to work. Hey, lasses?
Let's get going.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
with teamwork, it doesn't take you very long to dig a grave. And the militiamen let you know that Honora is already, as the town undertaker, working on a headstone. Worry about it. Your father was such a pillar of the community and provided so much for the militia and his weaponry and whatnot that you're not going to have to worry about it. And you've been assured that this property will remain a refuge and untouched for as long as the green fields run Tosin.
Excellent. All right. There's nothing keeping me here any longer. It's time for adventure.
If you don't mind, I would like to stop by the forge before we left.
Absolutely.
I'll tag along.
I wanna request that Winter comes so I can show Gruff the dagger that I made for her to see if he approves of it or not.
Oh yeah, Winter would also like to come along because Ildain let her know about some of the subtext of the things that were said, and she doesn't like that. So now she's just gonna tag along just 'cause why not?
All right. Ildain, are you going to go along to the smithy or are you wanting to head up to the temple now?
I'm gonna go to the temple. 'Cause I actually would have gone to the temple while they were
that
doing
was
the speak
happening.
of the
Okay,
dead.
so we'll resolve
Yeah.
that first. So you come up on the temple, and the map doesn't do what I imagine the spire that is the Oranthian temple to actually be. You walk up, and this is not just your run-of-the-mill temple. This is a gigantic masterwork of architecture with a giant spire in the center that reaches up towards the heavens. It is decorated with symbols of plants and flowers and the sun and just life. And the aura that this place gives is one of calm and comfort and the property is vibrant and rich with the magical plants that grow around here. There are hedge animals. There is a hedge maze. This place is just a homage to nature and its bountifulness in this area. And you come through the two swinging gates and approach the cobblestone path up to the door, and you are greeted by a man in plain robes that seem to be woven of crops themselves. And he smiles brightly at you, and he greets you. Oh, welcome to the temple, my lady. Are you here for service?
Not well. I don't know. What god or goddess is serviced here?
Oh, this is Aranthia's spire. This is given to the mother of nature.
Even if I am in the service of another, would I be able to find someone that could send a message along to my family?
Of course, of course. Is there a god that you serve in particular?
Uh I am kind of in between. I was raised my family, I'm a dwarf, so Ismir was
I did not want to assume. I did not want to assume.
yeah. But due to some past things, I've come across Zephyrion, and I'm
The Wind Rider.
always open to new experiences.
Well, Zephyrion, the brother of Aranthian, is welcome here. So there's no need to worry. You won't burst into flames when you walk through the door, of course.
That's comforting.
All things. But you said you need to send a message? Yes, I could take you in to see the Magister. He can help you with that.
Would be wonderful.
While you're here, we are raising money. The upkeep of the gardens is hard. Would you be willing to make a donation to the temple?
I hand him like 5 gold pieces.
Yes. Thank you. And he's bowing. 5 gold pieces is a lot of money to this little priest, and he kind of gets a crap-eating grin on his face, like he can't wait to put those check marks up on the board in the back. As he's tracking.
He made his quota.
Yeah, definitely for the next couple months. He's definitely gonna get an award for this. So yeah, and he all of a sudden he is giving you reverence. It's wherever you want to go, this guy is gonna be there and make sure you get there as quick as possible. And he walks you into the temple, and as soon as you walk in, it is this gigantic, just imagine it's like walking into the Vatican. It is just a little over the top. If, probably more than you've ever seen in a temple to Ysmir. Ysmir is very, very simple. He doesn't care how you worship, just make something and make it well. But Ranthia is more of a girl's girl to say. So it is
Ranthia
very
likes what she likes, okay?
Exactly.
Nothing wrong
And you're
with
in
that.
here, and he leads you straight through the place of worship, and you make your way to an office in the back behind the altar. and there's sitting an old man, similar robes, but of a dark blue color, and he's kind of got a widow's peak, and he stands up. His hair's salt and pepper. He looks pretty like he's getting up there in age. He's a human, probably early 60s, and he stands up as soon as the door opens, and the priest is like, excuse me, Magister, there's you have a guest. Somebody needs your assistance. I will be right outside the door, my lady. If you need anything else, my name is Godric. So just ask for Godric, and we'll help you. And he steps out and shuts
Thank
the
you
door
for your
behind
help.
him. And Magister stands up and he comes over and he reaches out his hand and he tells you that his name is Mordella. And he's the Magister of this place. Anytime anybody needs some magical doings around here, short of Elena, of course, but who could bother a champion with such trivial matters? So he's the one who keeps the hedge trimmers floating. He laughs to himself as he says, how can
I'll
I help
laugh
you?
back to kind of put him at ease. Thank you, Morduk. My name's Ildain. I been kind of out and about with Thrandil, and some other people from your town. I'm not from here, obviously, and I need to send an extremely important message back to my clan, to warn them of some things that they're unaware of.
Of course. Where would your clan be located? Prudon, somewhere in the Underdark.
We're located in Fire Pass, Anvil's Hearth.
Oh, Anvil's Hearth. Okay. Well, I won't be able to send a message directly to your clan, as I may not know many of them. I was born and raised in Tosin, but Oranthia does have a small temple in Anvil's Hearth. I can send a message there, and they could pass it along. Would you like to write down what you would like to send?
Yeah, and then so kind of question. Where was the gateway located? I know it was in Fire Pass in the Underdark section, but like, is there somewhere that I could tell them that they would know to go?
So it is from the looks on the map that you saw, it appears to be somewhere in the magma chambers under one of the twin volcanoes. It's a very dangerous place. Nobody goes down there. It's hot.
That can be 25 words.
25 words. So somewhere beneath the twin volcanoes.
Sweet. I got 23-ish. So I'm gonna say this is Ildain Light Branch. Orcs passing through magic gateway located in magma chambers, one of twin volcanoes. Send troops to shut it down.
Light
Yeah,
Branch
that's
clan.
23.
That way they know to get it to the Light Branch clan. And you write this out, and so he steps back and he casts the incantation. And he reads it off. And he stumbles a bit as he's reading because not everybody in town knew this. And he just learned probably what is the most disturbing news of his life from a random stranger at 8 a.m. in the morning on a Thursday. You know what I mean? Like,
He better not be charging full price for that shabby ass service.
so he got through it and he sent it, and his hands kind of tremble as he hands the paper back to you. Is this true?
Are you a drinking man?
He goes back to his desk and pulls out a bottle.
I'll hand him my tankard. And then just
Even
here.
better.
It's a strong ale. Yeah.
He accepts it, and he just go, and then he realizes it's not going to end, so he stops.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Austin,
Imagine
new drinking
fine.
game. See how many seconds you can chug from the endless tankard of beer.
Ildain's probably tried.
Yeah, Ildain's probably holding the record for that right now.
Yeah. No liver to speak of. Yeah, I'll probably
Dwarves have
just
like
kind
3,
of
don't they?
hope so. Yeah, so she probably just kind of sighs heavily and I'm sorry to obviously put you in the middle of this with this awful news, but I figured not telling you and just having you send the message.
One moment.
Would
He's replying. About what I expected. Okay, your message will be passed on. If you must know, and he takes another drink, the reply was, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, what the fuck? Okay, holy shit.
Did they say who it was? Because that kind of sounds like my brother.
The reply was from one of the priests for Anthea.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely not.
But your message is on its way.
Okay.
That's,
I
that's
appreciate
good
your
ale.
help. Yeah.
And he reaches it
If
back
you don't
at
might have a tolerance. I have a tolerance to it. So it might be pretty strong. You might want a light day for you today.
you. I have a feeling it's about to get a whole lot heavier.
No.
He just sits, he just deflates in his chair, and he reaches out with the mug, and you take it, and you're trying to pull it away, but he's kind of got a grip on it for a second, and then he lets it go. And
I'll hand him his bottle instead.
yeah, and he does. He pulls out a little clay cup and just pours a drink. He lifts it up, and he says, "To Oranthea." Does a shot, and yeah. He chugged probably 2 tankards of that ale before taking that shot, so here come about 45 minutes. The Magister is probably going to be incapacitated.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell him to kind of just stay sitting. And then I'm going to excuse myself and say there's preparations we need to make to help kind of shut this down as much as we can. Your governor's already aware, so there are steps being taken. So you are not the first person to know. And then I'll probably just kind of pat him on the shoulder and then take my leave. And I'll find Godric.
As soon as you open the door, Godric is right there. Molly, can I give you a tour of the premises? The hedge maze is just
No.
absolutely divine. You must take a turn.
Yeah, I would. I probably when I come back into town, I will come seek you out. However, the poor man in there, Mordek. I've just had him send a
He kind of
rather
leans over and peeks in and just, what did you do?
well. I apologize. I've have dwarven ale on me. I
Morduck
mistakenly
stopped
let him.
drinking 6 years ago.
Oh, okay. He's gonna have a really
LOL.
rough day today. You should you should probably
Oh
keep an eye
no.
on him.
Oh no.
I'm gonna take my leave now.
Uh,
I'll be back.
uh,
Oh, and I'm gonna kind of
As
like
you start
scoot.
walking out,
Yeah.
Godric is like grabbing his forehead and then he's like, um, um, oh God, the rose bushes again. And you have no idea what that means, but you leave the temple. And with that, we will zoom the camera out and then we zoom back in on the smithy where the rest of the party has just finally arrived at. You guys open the door, and Gruff is not standing at his forge. He is standing behind the counter, just staring up at a shield somberly, hands on his hips. And it is eerily quiet inside the smithy. You guys step in. And he just seems lost in thought.
Thrandil's gonna wait for Vraak to make the first move.
I'll call out in Dwarvish, just a quick hello, a quick greeting, to try to pull him out of his reverie a little bit.
Yeah, and you do. And before he turns around, you guys see his hands go up to his face. And he turns around and kind of straightens out his apron and so welcome back. What can I do for all of you today?
Are we taking a rest day today? The forge is awful quiet.
It is out of respect for my friend Elrindle and I. We go back a long time, hundreds of years, and I respected your father, Thrandil, he says to you. He was a good man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But you, he points at Vraak. I have something for you. He walks over to this cupboard and he opens it up and he comes carrying back what you recognize as the blade you forged, Vraak, the last time you were in here, the adamantine dagger. But now it is complete with a dark cherry handle, eloquently carved and embedded with green stones, with the runes of Ysmir enchanted into them, as well as some other runes that you don't recognize. This has been enchanted with. And he holds it up, and he looks at it in his hand as he's reaching it out towards you, and he goes, I've been all over the world. I've made 1,000 daggers and 100,000 swords. I've trained more blacksmiths in Brimha than you will ever meet in people. And I must apologize, because the last time you were in here, I mistreated you. You must know that my history with the orcs is a brutal and bloody one, but I should not hold that against you. And this is one of the finest blades any apprentice has ever forged. I'm going to give this to you because you made it. You should wield it. I took some liberties, and in honor of an old friend of mine, and he kind of side-eyes the forge, I took the liberty of placing an enchantment in this. And basically, what I'm trying to tell you, Vraak, is you now have an adamantine dagger, which is a +1 dagger, that when it hits, it is a critical hit. Also, on a successful hit, twice per day, it also does an additional d6 of fire damage.
Writing this down. I'm going to bow and take it with both hands, and offer. I know he asked for no payment. It's not really a payment. It's more of an exchange between followers of the same god. The little statuettes that I've been making in my off time when I don't have to make anything with my Chant of Divinity. There should be 7 or 8 of them, I think is what I said. I'm going to offer those to him in case he has a shrine or a place of dedication to Izmir. Again, not as payment, more of an exchange. And I don't want to insult his dwarven pride by offering payment when he didn't ask for it.
He wouldn't
And
have accepted it anyways. He
just
didn't forge this blade.
true. And I would like to ask you to give a quick once over to the dagger I made for my companion here to see if there's any room for improvement.
That's the one
Winter.
you forged out of silver, or?
Silver.
Okay.
Silver.
Winter pulls out the dagger and holds it out slightly awkwardly.
So he takes it, and I want you to go ahead and make a performance roll.
All right.
And I
Lucky
am going to roll a perception here. Okay. First dice roll for the DM's a natural 20. That's going to be a good night.
I hope so, because I only rolled a 14. It was a
That's
rush
okay.
job.
I'm only rolling for him to find the flaws, and you're rolling to see how many there were.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep, and that's above average. Not a bad roll at all. So he's looking it over, and he kind of taps it on the desk and checks the weight and the balance. It's a decent blade. He checks down the spine to make sure it's true. Your handle's a little rough in Dwarven hands. You could probably work on your finish work a bit. It's not all in the blade. You got to think about the one who's going to wield it. Comfortable it is in their hand. And if I might suggest, you need to come up with a signature. What makes your blade yours? The runes, for instance, on the one I just gave you. That's my signature. And the subtle inlays. And it does nothing for performance, of course, but when you're just starting out, there's a million blacksmiths in the world. You want them to come to your shop, and you want them to buy your blade instead of old Erickson down the road. Anyways, But it's a fine blade, and he kind of twirls it on his fingers. Once again, this dwarf is way more dexterous than you guys would think a 350-year-old dwarf should be. And he holds it by the tip and hands it back to Winter.
Um,
Takes it.
And
I offer my thanks.
speaking
Oh,
of,
go ahead.
as you know, I haven't taken an apprentice in over 100 years, and there are reasons for that. But being as how I treated you the last time you were in here, and you forged a very fine blade. If you return to Tosin from your next journey, I will take you on as an apprentice.
I can barely contain my joy. You can see, you can see it in my face. Trying not to smile overly hard, but
Yeah.
there's this giddiness
Somehow,
that you
guys,
can
Vraak
sense.
has just grown 3 inches from how straight her back has gotten, and just chest puffed out in pride. Just
Jaw got even bigger somehow.
Like I feel like I deserve it, but I also felt like I wasn't going to get what I deserved. Um, Kind of the mark of the half orc kind of thing. You know you deserve a chance in life just like everybody else does, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get it. But I do offer my thanks um, for finishing the blade and for your critique of my newer work. Um, I feel like I am a good smith, but there's always room for improvement.
there always is. And then, when there isn't, you'll retire to make horseshoes and shovels. He smiles.
Winter.
Yeah, go ahead.
Winter offers a small congratulations to Vraak, because she can see that this is something very important to her. So she offers congratulations for that. And then she turns back to the dwarf, her eyes like glancing momentarily to the fires in the back. And then she goes, "You have such a fine forge. It is so well crafted that it almost seems unreal. How did you get it to be so much better than any other forge I have ever stumbled across in all my travels?"
Interesting question. You see, back when I was a younger dwarf, and blacksmithing was more merely a hobby, I was a bit of an adventurer. And one day, long ago, in the mountains north of Yinst, which anybody who's looked over the map, that is way up north, like North Pole, like Antarctica kind of stuff. And he begins to go into story about he was hunting this dragon that was a menace to the villages. It was a young red dragon, and when he got there to kill the dragon, he instead struck a deal. The dragon would stop bothering the villages if Vraak made for him some trinkets and jewelry and forged for him. So using the fires of that dragon, Vraak began crafting from the dragon's own hoard magnificent pieces of jewelry that this dragon could adorn itself with. Because as everybody knows, red dragons are greedy, and they want more, and they want it to be gaudy and pretty. And after a week together, they became friends. And after months of being friends, they became best friends. And after months of being best friends, they became brothers. And eventually, that dragon allowed Gruff to ride him. And they went off on adventures together, fighting orcs and other dragons and the undead. And most of the legends Vraak would know of Gruff. He had this dragon companion. And it's always funny for little dwarven boys and girls to hear the stories of Gruff, this dwarf dragon rider. It seems ludicrous, but nonetheless, he's recalling the stories just as everybody had heard them in their childhood. But eventually, one day, Gruff and his dragon companion were overrun by an orc horde, and his friend fell, allowing Gruff to escape. Gruff went back, paid respect to his friend by harvesting the gland in which he produced fire, and using that gland to create these forges. The forge and the smelter. The fire will never go out. You'll never find another forge that gets as hot as Gruff's.
I think in the while he was telling the stories that we would have heard from like passing bards and travelers and stuff like that, I think my face was like super excited to hear them like directly from the mouth of the person who experienced them. And then at the end of the story, like, you could see it on my face, like my facial expression just dropped and got really sad. And the fact that he's willing to tell us this is a lot. So I'm extremely grateful. I had a question. I can't remember.
Vlathier, by the way, I finally found where I wrote the name down. The dragon's name was Vlathier Achmedon.
Dragons
In
have
case
some
anybody
names.
wanted the dragon name, it's Vlathier Achmedon. It's in Off-Time Roleplay. It's one of the first messages I sent.
Okay. I want to ask, in all your years of fighting orcs, have you ever found one like my mother, one that could be redeemed or changed?
There were always rumors, of course, of an orc rebellion, but given your namesake, nothing has come since that, Vraak. On the occasion I had to meet with orcs, it was always on purpose. So, those orcs I never did personally get to meet.
Not to sound too lofty, but maybe they just need some more inspiration.
Mm. Somebody once told me, we are not who we were born to be, but who we make ourselves. So perhaps that's true. But I'm just an old dwarf. There are better minds than mine to ponder these questions.
And I think at that point, I'll have to thank him for his time and his, at that point, grace to accept me as an apprentice.
Yeah, and if anybody wanted to buy or sell any magical weapons or armor, this would be the place to do it. Gruff would make what you guys would want from that list.
Actually, I want to look at something really quick. Let's see if I got magical armor or not.
I have some stuff to sell too.
Yeah, if it's weapons or armor or metal related, he'd buy it. If not, then you'd have to go to Thrandil's. He's got no
Gotcha.
use for mundane magical items, that kind of thing.
Well, I'll type it in chat. You can tell me if it's worth anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can move past this. I'm looking for either like probably +1 studded leather. That is what I'm looking for.
Didn't you guys pick some up in the camp?
We picked up regular studded leather, I think, or if we did pick up +1, somebody else grabbed it, which is fine. I don't mind buying it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Because I remember Thrandil was going to take it, but then I was like, no, you put on your army uniform, so we'll just say that was +1. So that somebody else could have that.
Well, if nobody else is taking that other +1, I will take it.
He'll
But,
buy the bow
Winter
from
could
you, of
wear it.
course. He'll buy the ring mail and the hide armor.
Cool.
He will not resell the bow. He's actually going to pay reverence to your bow, and he's going to hang that up amongst all the other weaponry.
Nice. Thank you.
While this is happening, Winter sort of walked off not far, but to where the fire was that came from this red dragon, and she takes a palm of 5 gold pieces, and she tosses it in the fire to pay reverence to the greed of a red dragon. And then she whispers a small prayer in Draconic to wish the soul of the dragon peace. She did not know this dragon, so it is not the most personal prayer, but is still a prayer by one who has the blood of a dragon. So in their culture, that brings a little more weight. And she walks back to the blacksmith, and she dips her head in respect. And with a whispered blessing in Draconic, gives them bardic inspiration.
All right. Sorry, I was just taking some notes there. Yeah, you approach the forge, and it is hot. And even for a Dragonborn, you kind of are amazed the fact that Gruff and even Vraak, the last time she was here, could get as close to this forge as you're getting. And you pay your respects, and you speak in Draconic, and then you toss in the 5 gold coins, and they begin to heat up, then kind of sink down into the coals as they become pliable, because even gold does not take long to heat up in this forge. And you get this sense of just, you did the right thing. And you walk away, and Gruff, he nods back, but you can kind of see in the back of his eyes, he's like, man, that gold would have been just as good in my pocket. Like, at his core,
Who's greedier, him or the dragon?
Exactly. At his core, him and his friend had a lot in common. Goddamn Erickson. And Vraak, you would know as he's mumbling Erickson that, like, that was his rival blacksmith. Like, You know, they were always trying to one up each other, but Erickson never quite lived up to it. But there were times that Erickson got commissions and jobs that Gruff really wanted. So that's an old rivalry. Can anyone wear plate armor?
I can. I think I'm gonna take it.
No.
Okay.
Sweet. I
Yeah.
cannot.
Oh,
I want to look at my
right.
character sheet first to see if it's worth taking.
Absolutely. And like I said, without Max here, I mean, you guys just have a day about the town, do what you want. We can do out the shopping and stuff if you wanted to. I don't really have a whole lot planned for the way of encounters because you guys aren't really going to hit the road as the carriages are getting ready for the next day. So,
I
Ildain.
would like
Okay,
if
go ahead. Sorry.
sorry,
No,
no,
there's a delay.
I would like
There we go again.
I would like, if nothing else, to upgrade my leather armor to +1 because I would like to stop getting hit as much, if possible.
Absolutely. If
I'm
you look
running into the fight.
No.
If you pull up that same magical list, can somebody tell me how much +1 leather costs?
Plus
It
one
says
armor of any kind is 1,000. Hold on, it's reloading.
it's 1,500, but I think it's 1,500 plus the cost of the armor.
Plus, you're going to
I
get rid
think.
of your armor, so. And that is right.
Yeah, because it's under because of the bounded accuracy. It's technically under the game changing items. Any plus armor is technically like a readjusting game balance, so it's super expensive.
Yeah, it's going to be almost 2,000 gold, I think, together.
I can. What's your AC now, Ildain? Without my pluses.
Give me a second. Let's see. Without my shield, 20.
Okay, in that case, winter until
No,
we can
wait.
get you
Hold
some
on.
armor.
19 without armor, but still way more than probably anybody else.
I felt like I've given you guys so much money. Is the armor?
Well, I can make winter's armor a +1 every day
Yeah, that's true.
until we can find some permanent +1 armor. I just have to forego making because like last session I made Thrandil's bow a +1. We'll just have to. We're going to be a very defensively heavy group.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if this is an
Yeah.
option for you, but if you're a bard and can carry a shield, that's a straight up +2 to your AC right there. Although you might have to forego carrying a weapon to cast spells and whatnot, but I mean, who cares? Breath weapon. Here's your weapon.
Yeah. Okay, are there any simple shields? How much would a simple shield cost?
10 gold pieces.
Yeah, shields are mundane as heck.
Yep. And he's got
Okay, then
plenty of
yeah, I will pay 10 gold pieces for a boring shield.
them. Nothing Gruff makes is boring. It's
Of
inlaid
course not.
It's inlaid with gold. It looks nice. It's very well constructed. The rivets are perfect.
See,
It
look.
fits your arm just perfectly. It's the most comfortable shield you've ever held in your life. Probably the only
See,
shield
look,
you've ever
he
held.
ended up getting gold from me anyway.
How far away from the armor is winter, gold wise?
At least 1,000. Oh
Alright,
wait, we got platinum. Hold on, I have not done the math.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
else did the math.
You might be close because I did the math on mine, and I'm at like 1,500 for Mordella. With a couple coppers and silvers left over that I didn't convert. Just in case we're, doing stuff that's really cheap.
Okay,
I have an
then
item in mind that I eventually want to get, but for now, I could share gold with you.
Oh no, it's fine. A shield would be good for me because at least that gets me up to 16.
Winter is the little squishy that I love to hit.
Hmm.
Ildain, what are you doing while the party is? Did you go and meet
I'm
them at the?
probably. I figured. I would figure that Vraak would head towards the forge.
Yep.
So that's probably just where I'm headed. Just to kind of meet up with the group. But other than giving Vraak the plate armor to then rework into her size, the message was my big like to do thing, so I'm just kind of tagging along when I meet up with them.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Ruff if he can make bracers of archery.
Just let you do it. I'm gonna have you roll. Can you afford the item?
I have no idea what it costs.
I'll look it up. Let's
LMAO.
see. Bracers of orchard. All items listed alphabetically. Ooh, that might be
An unlisted?
an item that won't be priced. Well, you know, they also have like the unpriced items, but I don't think that would be in there. I don't see it on here.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it here.
Jesus Christ, $600 in arrows.
It says per sane prices. 1,500 gold pieces.
Okay.
Yes, no, there it is.
Yeah, there they are, right there.
1,500.
Yep.
How much is a platinum worth?
10.
How's that worth 10 gold?
Plus, if you look on that same magical price list for him, can you guys see what the price of what he sold in the chat is? He gets half of that back. So the +1 longbow he sold, he gets half the price of that. Ring mail he sold, and hide armor.
Ring mail and hide armor are
And
going
so
to just be
+1
must-gain
weapon.
items.
Yeah, I have 1,121, depending on what the bow
+1 weapon sells back for 500.
So that's another 500.
Yeah, I'll pay for 1,500 for it.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm going to
You've
reduce
got
my
it.
platinum to 0. Move. Go ahead and remove my bow from my inventory. And then I'll have to get the price on hide and ring mail.
I'm pretty sure those are like only like 10, 15 gold.
30 for the ring mail.
Yeah, so you
That's
get 15 gold back for that.
Cool. All right, I'll take care of it from here, my dudes.
And you're worried about Ildain's AC. Meanwhile, Thrandil's never going to miss a shot again.
Well, yeah.
Well, Frankie also inadvertently gave me like one of the nastiest items I could get.
Nice.
Auto crit for a half-orc. Half-orcs get an extra damage die on crits.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all.
Plus twice per long rest, it does an additional d6 fire damage when you want it to. It's not like it just happens whether you want it to or not.
Yeah,
So you activate it for that.
but I meant the free
Right.
crit on
Oh yeah, well
on
that's
a
an
+1
adamantine
dagger.
thing.
I'm taking that. Extra fire damage for a forge cleric is just icing on the cake.
I figured you'd like that. You made the blade anyways.
That's awesome.
And +2 bonus to damage rolls on ranged attacks. Is that all it does? Because you already have proficiency in that. It just gives you an extra +2 bonus to damage rolls.
That's it.
Oh, you guys were talking it up like it was gonna screw me over. I was gonna regret that.
Just +2 to damage on range attacks.
That's okay. That's 4.
It stacks up though. Like if I get 2 or 3 attacks, that's
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was gonna say, this is gonna be a nice item for
yeah,
Thrandil.
definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely freaking. I'm well equipped for a level 5 ranger. I mean, good God.
Mm-hmm.
+2
You
bow that
guys
does
are
a
all
bunch of
covered in
crazy
nice,
magic.
delicious magic items. Yep.
I'm pretty strong. I'm digging it.
You guys want to head back to the tavern and just meet up, or what do you? Does anybody have anything else they want to do around town?
I don't think anything like preparation wise before we go. I'm just looking over this magic item list one last time.
Absolutely. So you guys can make your way to Trindles if it's not weaponry or anything that you want. If it's one items, you guys want to get some potions, scrolls, all that, and I will make sure to let Max know you guys also visited Trindles if there's any scrolls or anything like that. And I know he'll probably want to do an interaction next week. So he wanted to visit Trindle again.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ildain just wants some healing potions to have on
Yeah.
hand.
I think at
For
some
when
point
the
I'll try to
hits
get
do
like
come.
some other items, but yep, healing potion sounds like a good idea. Now, what do we have available in terms of healing potion? Just the base level, or
No, this
Any?
is Tosin. So the herbs and stuff here are all potions and stuff made in Tosin with Tosin materials are of the highest quality. So you can have whatever you want here because they are infused divinely. So any
Okay, I'll look
healing
over those
potion
really
you
quick.
want, invisibility potions, anything like that can be made here. But looking over Thrandil's map, you do know you have a long trip before you hit Brighton. And between here and Brighton, there are very few big cities. There's plenty of hamlets and little towns, but a lot of them are places are so big they don't even put them on the map. I think the next largest city will be Pock if you're heading straight to Brighton. I go and look at my world map here. I think Pock is the next large city before Brighton. Yep. Unless you guys cut west as well and try to hit Bramhaw City on the way down, but that would add a lot of time to your travel.
Before we leave the fort, I just need some simple items. They're mundane to everybody but me and whoever else needs one. The ring that I gave to Ildain for the warding bond spell, I'd like to purchase. Who would like to have their AC boosted? I know Winter said like it's an on command spell, so I can only do it to one person, but it's good to have it in case we need it. I know Winter. Thrandil,
Yeah,
do you want
definitely winter.
extra AC?
I'm okay. With this +1 studded leather, I'm 18 AC. And I don't think I've actually taken damage this entire campaign.
I was about to say you're usually in the back.
Yeah, I think a goblin bit me on the arm for 3 points of damage, but I think that's the only damage I've ever taken.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend 100 of my gold on some on 2 platinum rings. And if he doesn't have a maid, I can help him forge them in the meantime.
You just want mundane platinum rings?
Yeah, but I
you're gonna you
If
do
I'm
your
going to be
thing to him.
studying under this guy, I'd rather give him the money.
Well, no, he's just gonna suggest why don't you go over to the forge and turn the coins into rings.
That's true.
It's a
Well,
mundane
Well, I'd
item.
have to exchange.
You don't have
Yeah,
you don't
I'd
have
have to exchange the gold for the platinum pieces, and then yeah, that's perfect. I can do that.
Yeah, you pay him the gold to rent the forge to turn your platinum pieces into rings.
Okay. Yeah, that still burns out 100 of mine. So I'm gonna put another ring on one of my fingers, and then give the its pair to its opposite to winter. So I can affect. I need to write down who all has one of my rings.
Nice.
I'll go ahead and use my Tam Divinity for today. So this is gonna take me an hour to do, but I want to get this done for the sake of our party because when we do get hit, we seem to get hit relatively hard. Considering I've died twice now.
Oh, you didn't die. You were just made unconscious and close to death. If somebody you want to talk about somebody almost dying, Winter was one roll away from rolling
Yeah.
up a new character.
Yeah, and I've never played with a bard before, and I would like to continue playing with a bard.
Oh, he's a wizard. It was Timber, I meant to
Oh
say.
no, you said Timber, not Winter.
Yeah. Winter almost died too in the very first fight. Oh no, the second fight back in the bar.
Yeah.
Win-
Oh,
Win-
I'd like to
I died
spend
in a lot of fights.
an
Winter-
hour tuning.
Yeah, make sure you're keeping track. You can only attune to 3 magic items at a time, guys. And
Already there.
Nice.
All right. I just spent like half my gold on healing potions, but fuck it. We
also,
ball.
I got a suggestion, and I'm gonna run it by you guys. This is out of game while we're doing all this stuff. So in the future, for remove curse, because I realize how easy that is, would you guys be opposed of, depending on the level of curse that it is, that turns into an encounter? Say the curse like comes out of the item and turns into a shadow or something like that.
I wouldn't mind
That's cool,
just
man.
because it felt so easy to
Right.
just
That's
dump
what
the
I'm saying.
curses. I just spent 2 spell slots.
Luckily, it wasn't the most powerful items,
Right,
but
yeah.
yeah, if there were to be a much more powerful cursed item, or it to be ridden of that easily, I think if you narratively needed for that particular curse to take a little more than that, I don't think that's inappropriate, whether it be you need a different spell, or you need that and this, or yes, you need to like physically later kill what was cursing it, whatever it may be. That's fine with me.
Yeah, it just seemed
Yeah.
like super easy because I was kind of hoping for and then they used identify on it, of course, and so I have to tell them that it's cursed. But I was kind of hoping somebody would have attuned to those because those would have been fun.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
my
was gonna
buddy,
say this.
my
ahead.
buddy was trying to run Curse of Strahd, and literally we just walked into the campaign, touched the ground, used remove curse, and it was over.
Yeah.
Strahd was uncursed. It was like, bam, Barevia's back to normal.
Yeah, because plus it doesn't always work. Like you can't remove lycanthropy with remove curse.
Right, that's what I mean. I think if you want to say like certain curses just are impervious to that spell, like you might say like, you know what, this one needs a wish spell. Or like I said, that combined with some other whatever it may be.
Yeah,
Or
since I
maybe
let it
only cast
happen, I
by a
didn't want to
certain
just
paladin or
change it
something.
and then you guys be like, well, it worked last time. So I just wanted to run it by everybody first.
Or here's another one I saw
Perfect
too that
time to
was
go over that.
pretty creative. Using the remove curse spell actually tells you what you'll need to do to physically remove the curse. Like maybe you
Okay.
have to like
That's
find
a
the
good
person.
idea too.
Yeah,
That's actually a really, really good idea.
I'm actually writing that one down.
maybe
Yes,
it'll
I
tell
sit
you
down.
the witch you casted it or the item you need to destroy or something like that.
Yeah, you need to kill this vampire, you need to, you know,
Do this
this
ritual.
hallowed ground needs to be, you know, consecrated again or whatever it needs to be.
Yeah, it'll just tell you what requires the removal of the curse.
Yeah, I'm fine with doing more legwork. Like I'm always fine with something that makes you go a little bit out of your way to have to do something else. I'm perfectly cool with that because it doesn't feel like I have identify always prepared. I'm not even the one who cast identify. Like I got 3 identifies out of I think Timber, and then I just
Well,
used
we were
2
able to
third level
ritual
spell slots.
cast,
And
so
boom.
it's pretty nice. And yeah, for
Oh
Timber
yeah, I
being able
forgot
to do
about
the
that.
ritual spell in a normal time, that's like
Yeah,
incredible.
instantaneous identify for the party
That
whenever
saves
they
us
want.
so much time. Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
like Timber's a treasure for that. For that reason alone, we can't let him go down.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you guys got really powerful really quickly. I'm seeing some balanced things now that I'm playtesting the game here that I can take to future campaigns, but I kind of made you really powerful on purpose really quickly. So that is where we are at. You guys are finishing up your shopping. Is there anything else we can think of that we would like to accomplish in Tosin before you go?
Can't really think of anything. Just to let everybody else know, I picked up 2 greater healing potions and 1 superior healing potion, just in case we should run into trouble down the line. I also do have a decanter of endless water, so we have water as much as we need. We do have a cleric, so as long as we can come across any type of food while we're out there, even if we come across like some nasty shit, the cleric can purify that shit for us. So I'm
Yep.
hoping our travels aren't fraught with starvation and, you know, thirst and things like that.
I think you guys pretty much have everything you need to cancel that out. You got a ranger.
We've got a
Yeah, I
ranger as
think.
well, yeah.
Yeah, I think part of Rangers you always find.
You know
everything
what?
you
I
need.
am glad you brought that up, but
You could always just cast Goodberry too, if you have it.
I don't
Once
have that
per
one.
day, that gives you basically enough food for an entire day.
you guys
Oh, here it
do
is.
you guys do
Sorry,
know
okay.
that you're gonna have to cross the dunes and part of the desert on your trek south, but thanks to the decanter of endless water I let you have, that's not gonna be as big of a deal.
Well, we still might. That's a good thing to know because we were gonna definitely want to shield ourselves from the sun and things like that. Is stuff gonna come with like the carriage to combat that, or do we need to equip ourselves with shit
So
to deal with like getting stuck in the sand again, like tents to protect ourselves, etc., etc.
so you guys are gonna get some rations, some basic supplies and that kind of thing. And this isn't even a covered wagon they've given you. This is more of a cart than a carriage when I said that, but it does have a bench on it for that'll comfortably fit 2 people. And there's enough room in the back that if people wanted to ride at some point, they could ride. With the amount of horses you guys have, it's not going to be an issue. But it's more of a fancier cart than a carriage. So you will still need
Okay.
tents and to be able to find shelter while you're out there.
All right, so I will definitely be updating my shopping list with some more, well, not my list, but my character sheet with some more mundane items, and I'll subtract the gold from there. But that's so much for saving up gold. That's okay though. We'll earn some. We got to spend it on the stuff we need, and I'm realizing I do want Mordella to be able to heal sometimes, but she definitely doesn't have as many heal spells as I thought she would at this point. So I picked up a couple potions, try to make up for that.
Yeah, that's the I have your character sheet. I knew that. That's why I was like survival is not going to be an issue as long as you don't let Winter roll the survival checks.
I already said I wasn't touching those dice again. I'm not doing it. I did it once. There was a giant. I am done.
roll
I am
what I tell you
and an
to
owlbear.
roll.
I am forcibly retired.
Finding twice as much food is insane.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are definitely built for travel right now, and good thing because it's 3 weeks to the capital. All kinds of stuff out there on the road.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah, that's my other question too. Before we hit the dunes, is there a city that we're gonna come across?
there's going to be a couple little hamlets.
Okay, because at some point once we get to those dunes, we're gonna want camels to pull that cart. Horses, riding horses won't be so bad, but to pull a cart, horses are not gonna be able to get any pull in the fucking desert.
Yeah, playing with other DMs is rough. Will you let me kill the horses, Nick?
I
Hey,
mean,
you
okay, I'll
haven't
even
done
say
this
this:
yet.
Decanter of Endless Water, like,
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to not have any thirst problems. Like, I
right.
don't know that we can supply every single horse with water. All the people, for sure, but horses need a lot of fucking water.
That's true. And you guys might get desperate and start going to the tankard for ale, and that'll have effects all of its own.
At least we know that's purified water. Although, again, having a cleric, even if we come across some nasty cistern, it's like, all
Mhm.
right, well, purify that water, cleric. Earn your keep, cleric. No, just kidding. Forge cleric, like you pointed out earlier, Cook, like so many defensive capabilities.
Yeah, well, you know what? You guys got nothing else you really gonna want to do in town, and I'll let Max roleplay what he wants to roleplay out tomorrow. But let's have some fun here. So the next day comes along, and you guys are greeted outside the tavern by Elena Greenfield and a couple members of the militia. Your horses have already been outfitted and kitted out, and they are there with the cart, and it is all packed up and ready for you guys to head out and start your journey southward.
All right.
Two. You guys want to have some talks amongst yourself as you're preparing to leave and he is preparing you? Because I'm going to be looking for something real quick.
Okay.
I'm
Mordella's
gonna
gonna pull Winter
update my
aside.
spell sheet for the day.
Mordella's gonna pull Winter aside and basically just tell her that she's got the supplies covered for the dunes. Got like a 2-person tent, and I'll have some other things like that to make sure that we're good in the desert.
Thank you, Mordella. You are truly a delight.
Mordella very much cares about Winter. And also Timber, but for different reasons. So I've already got traveler's clothes. Can you check, Caden, does Winter have traveler's clothes?
I don't see it on my sheet.
Okay, I'm picking those up for you.
Yeah, I have a diplomat pack.
Okay, can you add traveler's clothes to your sheet?
Yes.
That offers you basic protection against the elements, winter, desert, things like that. Yeah, I've got a tent. I'll be adding some other things.
We won't have any problem giving the horses water.
Perfect.
I'm looking at my spell list. Create food and water.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
It's
there it
45
is.
pounds of the shittiest, blandest food, which is not
And
important because we can
that's,
always
yep.
forage. But it's 30 gallons of water.
Yeah, I think the decanter can do something like that too, like at its maximum. I don't remember if it's like 10 gallons or what it is, but
Dude, we're gonna be taking straight up baths on this trip. Like,
we're gonna be having Nerf gun or not Nerf gun, Super Soaker gun fights and stuff.
oh yeah, we got water for days. Heck yeah. So one thing my group likes to do is when we travel, we play this mini game where we all roll a d20, and whoever rolls the highest gets to ask any other person in a question or in a party one question, and that character has to answer it. And then after that person goes, the rest of the people go and roll d20 until everyone gets a chance. And then
I
everyone
like
gets
that.
to ask whoever they want one
That's
question.
kind of fun. Yeah.
I really like that. So
That
yeah,
also kind
That's
of
some good
forces
role-playing
the
shit.
characters to have that. Because we're
yeah,
traveling for so long together, there's going to be these random conversations.
Yeah.
exactly. I actually really like that. So yeah, you guys have set off. You've said your goodbyes to Tosin. You've gathered your gear. Uh, you faced down some fears. And while the weight of the responsibility that you guys carry is heavy, and the mood is kind of somber for some of you. The sky is blue, the sun is shining, and if you're gonna be a hero, why not today? You guys set off down south, and you could begin to play this game Thrandil tells you he used to play with the new recruits in the army. You're all going to take turns asking each other a question. If you're going to be on the road for a while, it's best to get to know each other.
Heck yeah.
So what is it
Roll
we
it
do?
up.
We all roll a d20?
Yeah. So I got an 8.
I got a 3.
11.
6 for Ildain.
Oof.
16, but I was not expecting to win this, so I have no idea what I'm gonna ask. Give me a
Alright.
sec.
Winner's up first.
It could be even something simple, like what their favorite food is or something.
Yeah, anything.
It doesn't have to be super complex, but it could.
Yeah. Ildain, why did you name your horse Kevin?
Good, ask me a question. I have no fucking idea what the answer is. Thanks. Give me a second. I don't know, honestly. There was a human in a bar many years ago, and he was funny looking, and I don't know. Kevin seemed like a really cool horse name. What did you name your horse?
Splinter. Splinter.
Like what you get in your finger?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because he's either going to be a pain to the enemies, or he's going to be a character to the rest of us. In some way, Splinter is going to be an annoyance and a nuisance to somebody.
I think that explains more about you than your horse.
You around, everybody?
Do we roll again, or do we just ask questions randomly?
Yeah, we can roll again.
Keep rolling.
11.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got a 20.
Ooh.
I got a 5.
3. 7.
Let's get these low rolls out the way.
All right. Let's see. Mordella's gonna ask Vraak, do you have trust in me?
I extend an amount of trust to anybody who's willing to fight beside somebody that looks like me.
Fair answer.
All right.
All right, everybody roll again.
4.
9.
12.
2.
All right.
18.
Ildain, you already asked. It's Cook.
Mine's more of a silly question. I believe it was Thrandil's horse. Thrandil, was your horse keeping watch on top of the tavern last night? Or am I going nuts? Because I believe in your character picture for the horse, it was on top of a building.
I don't know what you're talking about. Biscuit's a special horse. But I don't know what if any. Don't know.
Also a fair answer.
But yeah, no, that portrait was from The Witcher. That was Roach, and it was just like a
Okay.
nod to the joke that the horse always ends up in weird places.
Okay,
Just from
I get
Bugs.
it.
Yeah. But no, I just want to pick a silly looking mundane horse named Biscuit. Everyone picked like majestic Frisians and stuff, and I was like, let's see what we got.
Timber got a
I typed in
pony.
heavy black horse, and that was the first one that came up. I just wanted not necessarily a fast horse. I just wanted something that would take my weight.
Yeah, Frisians are dope. Probably my favorite horse. If you want a big horse, they're Percherons, man. They're just they're the size of a moose. Bigger.
Jesus.
Size of
In
my
real
work
life, I do not like horses. There's some I don't trust them, and they don't trust me. Probably because I don't trust them. I
Yeah,
don't like
they
horses.
fucking know, man. Horses are like that. They know if you're like uneasy about them or don't like them and shit like that. And some of them are just downright bastards.
yeah.
They've got too much brain, and I don't like how intelligent they look. I don't know
Dude,
if
they
they're
got a
actually
fucking
that
wild
intelligent, but
streak
they
to them
give
too,
off
man.
this.
Like, whoo, they could get crazy sometimes.
They also don't carry a lot of weight too. Like even a Frisian, like they say if you're like over like 230 pounds, you shouldn't be like on the back of one. I know when I rode a horse, I was like 220, and I had to get like a 14 hands horse. It was just massive, deadheaded thing. They don't carry a lot of weight like people think they do, unless you get like a
That's
freaking
crazy.
Shire or like a Percheron or something huge.
Maybe they don't like me because I'm too big. I'm
Yeah, you're trying to get on them and they're
255.
looking at you like, nah, bro, nah, it's not happening. Could be.
Who's left for questions?
Me and I got a 19.
I think Winter didn't get to
Yes.
ask one yet.
17. Yeah, we should just
Yeah,
go with who
Winter
hasn't
went
asked one
first.
yet.
Yeah, I asked the first one.
Oh.
Did Ildain go?
Well, Dane didn't get to go.
Oh, it was Ildain that didn't get to go. My bad. You should have gone last time. I confused you and Caden. I apologize immensely for
Well, yeah, I asked why she named her horse Splinter. That was a question, I guess.
that. Oh, yeah, okay. I shouldn't have counted that, though. So, Ildain, you go ahead.
Randall, how long ago were you in the service?
Oh, it's been about 10 years. Yeah, I moved to Tucson rather recently with my father, and yeah, so we started a shop, and it's kind of been a retirement. Never meant for all this to
Wish
happen.
you could have. Yeah, I wish you could have stayed in retirement from one soldier to another.
Yeah, me too. But it seems fate has other plans for us.
Yeah. It's a bitch.
Yeah, life has a way of kicking you in the head. No easy days, that's for sure. All right, well, Mordella, I noticed you have a air of the macabre to you. I've seen your fight. What's this magic you cast? It seems dark.
He like tenses up very much so, but in respect to the rules of the game, she does admit that the magic I use draws directly from the world we live in, although perhaps not this plane directly. It involves the souls of the damned, more or less, the souls that wander this earth. I am able to entice them close, and I guess the best way to put it is to capture them and use the power within them to fuel certain magics about me. As far as spell casting goes, she describes it much like a sorcerer does, where it's like she just knows some spells and can cast them.
So you
She
capture
picks them up
ghosts
along the way.
and use ghosts as power?
Something like that, Thrandil. It's a bit strange to understand, but perhaps sometime I'll show you all one of my rituals.
There
I-
is a link in the voice chat. If you guys could go ahead and open that up and just tell me your party order, and then go ahead and finish. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no, you're good. That
No,
sounds.
that's about all Mordella was saying. Go ahead, Thrandil.
No, yeah, that's more than I can understand. I figured if we'd be traveling together, I should learn more about you guys. I've never seen anything like that.
It's definitely unique, and it's definitely not accepted art everywhere I go. And she kind of glances at Vraak as she says it, and then looks down to the ground quickly.
Yeah, so in the army, we had evocators. They were like war wizards, and they would cast spells like artillery. But I've never seen anything that had to do with the souls of the dead.
I'll speak up and say that you're not the only one that's not accepted everywhere they go. So don't feel alone.
She says many
As
view it
long as
as
you're
a
not
form of.
killing
Oh,
innocents,
go ahead.
as long as you're not killing innocents to make souls, well, it is what it is.
Says unfortunately it could be looked at as being profane, and some look at it as a form of thievery. I don't know exactly that I agree with that, but I also can't say that the souls are always willing. That I cannot lie about.
Kiara, wouldn't be trying to use Nadine's soul, would you?
I would never.
Do you get to choose, or is it just whatever's nearby?
Not so much the person's soul directly personally, but I look for a particular spirit that I wish to inhabit me for the time. Whether it be a spirit of vengeance, or a spirit of valor, say, a spirit of empathy, or a spirit of agony. It could be any of those things, and if I'm not careful, I might get something that I'm not looking for.
Aye. Well, as long as it doesn't cause any permanent damage, I suppose if anything ever befalls me, you could call upon me and I'd help you.
She scoffs and she says, "You know the legend about witches and what happens to them, don't you, Thrandil?"
I honestly have no idea.
It is said that we all turn to hags sooner or later. Or perhaps something worse.
Well, You know, the thing about elves is we live such a long time. Thankfully, I get my looks for quite a while. So hopefully it'll be a long time before I start looking like a hag.
I feel the same way, Thrandil, although I'm a human, and especially compared to your kind, our lives are but a blink, are they not?
I try not to think about it. I've seen a lot of faces come and go. Well, my father has, anyway. I'm only about 40.
Mordella looks absolutely shocked. She has never met an elf that young.
Yeah.
Where
like I
I'm
said,
at, they're only the oldest and most experienced elves dare to travel.
yeah. So I joined up in my teenage years in the army, but that was about 10 or so years ago. I was only in the army for about 5 years or so. So I think that'd make me about 43, if I count correctly. But, excuse me.
Has anybody not asked a question yet?
I don't believe so.
All
I think
right.
that's it,
That's
yeah.
everybody.
As you guys are walking and talking, go ahead and give me an not initiative rolls, perception rolls.
All right. Perception.
Okay, decent roll, but not super
9.
great.
5.
19 for Ildain.
Okay.
14 for Mordella.
Cool.
17 for winner.
Okay. You catch it out of the corner of your eye, Ildain. As you realize the birds stop chirping and it's getting a little too quiet. There's you're a soldier. You've had this feeling before. And you realize that you guys have, in your conversation, stumbled into an ambush. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
5.
19.
Hey, is it Frankie?
3.
Okay. 1 second. All right, start again. Ildain, you got a 3.
Yeah.
Mordella, what did you get?
Mordella got a 9.
9. Randall?
19.
18. Vraak?
5.
5. Are you guys' dice feeling okay tonight?
Not at all.
Okay.
We
Nope.
gotta,
Well,
we gotta
listen,
warm them
they
up.
started getting lousy and started rusting when you said there wasn't gonna be much to do. They heard you and they were like, "Oh, cool, we could chill tonight."
Gonna roll for all the goblins there. The regular goblins all got a 13. That in here.
Orgs, my arch enemy, fuckers.
I got an 18.
Okay, 18 for winter. Okay. Goblin 13. Goblin boss got a 12 for the two of them. And the wargs are just going to go on their turn because the two goblin bosses are riding the wargs. Gets us up to the top. Thrandil,
Okay.
you are up.
Could you explain the scene and if I can see anybody?
So, absolutely. Actually, got to show you these guys as well. And there are 8 of these, not 6. I messed up. Yeah, so Ildain has this sense about her that something's not right, and she signals for you guys to stop. and a goblin steps on a twig as you look out into this tree line along the road. And as much as the goblins tried to hide from you, you can see them. The ones in the trees do have cover, and that's all of them right now, minus the wargs, because they're large creatures. These tree trunks aren't going to be big enough to hide them, but they are. But you do definitely see all of these goblins in their lines, and each of them is armed with crossbows.
Gotcha. Do I have can I see the goblin bosses? Okay.
Yeah, they're sitting on top of the wargs. Now they're kind of sitting in a position where the goblins themselves on the wargs are kind of getting cover from the tree, but the wargs themselves aren't.
Okay. Being as goblins are Thrandil's favorite enemy, he's gonna right away kind of tell their formations and be like, "It's a goblin ambush! Everyone, get ready!" And he's going to cast a spell with his bonus action, and the spell is called Zephyr Strike, and that'll give me advantage on a strike, add 30 to my movement, and give me a 1d8 additional damage to that first shot. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast that spell, and then with advantage, I'm going to take a shot with Sharpshooter at the very first goblin boss that I see.
Okay, that's this guy here.
Yep. And that will be a very good. Gotta do some new maths here.
Everybody just leveled up. Let's have some fun.
15 to hit.
15 to hit, misses.
Misses. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and whirl up another attack. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and oh shit. I'm going to use my Dread Ambush, make another attack without advantage. That would be a 22 to hit.
22 just hits.
Excellent. Ooh, he's thick. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll my damage and
He's
add
taking
an additional
advantage of
1d8.
cover. You get the feeling he's taking advantage of the cover.
Got you. Cool. Sorry, slowing us down. What was it? Okay, so that would be a 18 damage
Okay.
from my second shot. My first one missed. Dread Ambush. Another arrow hits him, and
you hit him good too. He is not looking happy.
Go ahead and use my movement to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 75, 80 feet this way.
Okay.
And as I'm rushing along, I'm like, over here, you wee bastards. And I'm going to end my turn.
Alrighty. Winter.
Okay. I am going to do Bardic Inspiration on Ildain and then cast Invisibility on myself and just move like 10 feet to like over here, just so if they hit at where I was, they don't hit me.
Okay.
That's my turn.
I'm going to move back a little bit. I didn't have 80, I had 70.
Winter has been properly chastised for her fighting style.
Okay. Pull that over there. Exit that. Where did you move to? I didn't have the map pulled up. I'm sorry. So you moved there, and what was your action?
I used the spell of invisibility, and I cast it
Okay.
on myself after giving Ildain bardic inspiration, and then I moved.
I am going to mark you with a blue circle so that we know you are now invisible.
Yay!
And Ildain, you have inspiration. Next up is the goblins. This goblin right here is going to go first by taking a shot at Thrandil.
Okay.
I misspoke earlier when I said crossbows. They have short bows. I apologize.
No problem.
And that is a 13 to hit.
Misses.
Okay, I'm going to mark the ones who have gone with an orange circle. This one is going to take a shot at Mordella with his short bow. One is a 19 to hit.
Yes, that is a hit.
Mordella will take 4 damage. Okay. That is the end of that one's turn. Next one up is, seeing the success of that, is going to shoot at Mordella as well. But misses with an 8. Next one is lines up its sights on Vraak. That is a 19 to hit.
That is a miss.
Okay. Orange. Next one. Also shooting at Vraak. Come on, crit. Nope. 17, so that one misses as well. Next one is going to... Mordella, you're the closest. All 3 of these bottom ones are going to shoot at you. First one is a 22 to hit for
Hit.
5 damage. The second one is a 10, which misses. And the third one is a 10 that misses. So only one of those was a hit. Mark those. Go down here. Next up is the goblin boss that was shot by Thrandil. He has a javelin. He's going to chuck that at Thrandil in retaliation.
All right.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Uh-oh. Disadvantage. But I already said it. So, that's an 11 to hit. He misses. Okay. The other goblin boss is also going to throw a javelin at Thrandil. 5, 10, 15, 20. He's only 25, so he will just make that attack. 15. I'm pretty sure that misses, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's them. And they're both going to use their movement to hop off the wargs, but stay in cover in the trees. And the warg, this warg is going to charge you, Thrandil. How much movement do they have? 50 feet, yeah. So you are now harried by him.
Bad dog. Bad dog.
He's going to make a bite attack.
Okay.
Only a 9.
You got a whirl.
Then the second one here is also going to harry you. And it rolled a natural 19 for a 24 to hit.
Hits.
So from this bite, well, I rolled 2 1s, so you lucked out there. You got 5, and you have a DC 13 strength saving throw, or you will be prone.
5 damage.
5 damage, and I need a DC 13 strength saving throw.
He won.
All right, you are now prone, which I will mark with green. So it'll cost half your movement to get up.
Okay.
That was that. Mordella.
Okay, so I would like to cast Conjure Animals at 3rd level and conjure 8 wolves.
Of
I will place them
course.
accordingly.
You.
Fuck you goblins. Fucking shooting at me. I was gonna do 2 direwolves and have them go after the bosses, but my mind changed quickly when those goblins started firing at me.
I'm going to mark
And
this
then
one in red because he is bloodied.
they have their own initiative. I rolled an 18, so their initiative count is 20.
Just for ease,
So they will.
can we just go on your turn with them?
Sure, that works out better for me
Yeah,
because
I
now I
know
get
it
to
does.
attack with all of them. All right, so I'm gonna start with the bottom ones. Those all basically roll with advantage because of pack tactics.
Yep.
Ooh. All right, so the first one crits the goblin.
Yep. It's
All
dead.
right, 2d4. All right, I won't roll that. The next one, 14 plus 4, 18. And
It's
if
a
it hits,
melee
that will
attack, so
be
yeah.
8 damage.
All right,
Call it
dead.
the middle goblin. And the final goblin, okay, it'll be 23 to hit. We know that hits. And it will be, 4 piercing damage.
Okay, not dead.
All right, and then all the other goblins are just being attacked regularly
But
because none of
bloody.
these wolves have pack tactics. So let me just do this really quick. All right, 12, miss. We got a crit, we've got a 22, we've got a 7, which is a miss, and then another 12.
The 12's miss, so you got a crit.
One is a crit, and then the one that's not a crit is 8 damage.
Okay, so which ones do you want to hurt? So I know which ones to mark.
So basically I just went in order from left to right across the screen, and I hit the 2 middle ones. So number 2 from the left is a crit, and number 3 from the left is 8 damage.
So the crit one is dead. There's no question about that. And so this one, or right here, how much damage did he take?
8 piercing.
Okay, dead as well.
Okay, and then remaining wolves. Let me see what this wolf's movement is. 40 feet? 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Well, look at that. All right, so on their next turn, they will roll with advantage could they survive to these goblins. Finally, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Mordella's going to move over here. And that will end her turn. Sorry to take so long, everybody.
Wow. All right, Vraak, you are up.
Okay. Well, it looks like the mini goblins are covered. I've got 30 feet of movement. I'm gonna move towards Thrandil, I think.
30
As
feet.
far forward as I can with 30 feet. And then
Okay.
neither one of them have been hit. But I will aim at the one that knocked him prone. So the one on the right, the
Yep,
ward.
this one.
Yeah, I'm going to fire off a guiding bolt. And that is a +7. Maybe 13 to hit.
13 just hits.
Thank you. Okay, let me mark that as passed. And it is 4d6 damage. I get my luckies out. There we go. So that's going to be a 6. 6, 10, 13. 13 damage.
Okay, it is bloodied.
And that'll be my turn.
All right, Ildain, you are up.
So for movement, am I on my horse still?
I didn't say the others were, so I'm gonna say you guys hopped off the horses.
Okay. So I'm going to. Yikes. 5, 10. Sorry, trying to count my little legs here.
Yeah, little dwarf legs. That is a disadvantage.
5, 10. Okay, so I think 5, 10, 5, 15, 5. And then I'm going to manifest echo and manifest it like right there. Yeah. And
Alright.
I'm going to attack through my echo.
Okay. That goblin boss cannot believe his luck.
9 plus 7, 16 to hit.
16 misses.
Oh shit. That sucks. Alright, well.
Oh, yeah. Does it suck that you didn't kill
yes.
white creatures?
Yes, it does. It does a lot. So I guess
Bad enough I now have to deal with 8 fucking wolves.
I will sit there then.
Okay.
Cool.
We are back up to the top at Thrandil.
Okay. The warg on the right, did it take a guiding bolt?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to I'm going to attack the warg on the left, but I'm going to attack it with my short sword, and I'm going to
You want to stand up first, or are you going to make this while laying on your back?
Yeah, I'm going to use half my movement speed to stand up. I didn't think about this when I said that, but I guess I'd have to use a longbow to get my family strength feat there. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand up half my movement speed, and then I'm going to pop another Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
And that'll add 30 movement speed to my character, and I can't take hit of opportunity. So
Really?
I'm going to move, 5, 10, 15, and then that's half, and then another 30, 20, 25, 30. And I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at the left warg.
Okay.
With my bow's advantage ability. Crit. And I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of damage. I don't even know if you want to math it.
Is it more than 26?
So it'll be 1d8 plus 9 doubled, then sneak attack doubled, and then also Zephyr Strike doubled. Yeah, it'd be a lot.
Okay. We will call him dead for the sake of not doing math, but you used the
one charge of my yeah.
So what does Thrandil think about? As he retreats here, then turns quickly with his bow, pulls back the arrow, and he has this fleeting thought that guides his aim before he releases the arrow.
He thinks of Nadine as he kind of rolls back. He thinks for a moment of himself hunting in the woods, and then having Nadine kind of run back with a bunch of like goobery lips holding a squirrel or something. And for that brief moment, there's a flash of a smile across his lips as he looses the arrow.
And the warg falls dead.
Yep. And with that, I end my turn.
All right, Winter, you are up. And in there, invisible.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay invisible, so I'm going to give Thrandil and roll. Don't know why I struggle with that. I know. I'm gonna give them Bardic Inspiration, and then I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna move 25 feet over near Mordella, just so I can make sure that she is safe, if nothing else.
Okay. Is Bardic Inspiration a spell?
I think it's a bonus
It's
action.
like a magical ability.
Okay, just making sure it's not like casting a spell. Okay, yeah, no.
I think it does cost a bonus action to do it.
I was thinking in terms of invisibility. Does it break invisibility? It doesn't appear so.
Oh no, I wouldn't
I
say so.
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't know on that part. I do know it costs a bonus action, but I
just looked it
don't
up.
know much else.
I just looked it up. You're good to go. It does not actually. It's not an actual spell cast. So
Yay!
Excellent.
Still invisible.
you are definitely still invisible. And we are back up to goblins. The ones I have left, starting up here at the top, at the one that's harried by 2 wolves. He is annoyed at the wolves, but he is going to ignore them, and he knows that they were called by Mordella, so he is going to again shoot his short bow at Mordella. That is a 23 to hit.
Silvery barbs as a reaction.
Okay, I will re-roll. 9.
Okay.
Okay, now this one is also going to shoot at you. Who do you give advantage to, by the way?
Oh, I'll throw it to Vraak.
Okay. That
Sweet.
one missed as well, and the next one's shooting at you. That missed as well. Down to the bottom, the one bloody goblin left down there. I said I was going to give this to one of them. I don't think it'll be him, though. Okay. He is going to shoot at Vraak. No, Ildain. You're closer down there. He's probably going to miss, of course. Yeah, 17 is not going to hit Ildain. So that's done.
Nope.
Through my regular goblins. So now it's the goblin boss right here with your echo. He is going to pull out his scimitar, attack the echo. That is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
So the echo goes away. He is going to move 5, 10. No. I've learned my mistake. 5, 10, 15. And he's going to attack Thrandil with his scimitar.
All right.
That is a natural 20
It's
or 24. So that is 8 plus 8. I'm rolled max damage, so 16 slashing damage.
all right.
All right.
All right.
That is the end
I'm
of
looking
his turn.
pretty bloodied.
His turn. Now it's this goblin boss's turn. And he sees all these wolves, and the way it's going, he's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to right here. This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That group is a no. Where can I do maximum damage? Okay. So you guys see this Aarakocra right here? That's not an Aarakocra. That is this goblin boss. Pulls a chain off of his neck and throws these 2 small orange beads attached to it right at that spot. And I need Thrandil, Vraak, and Ildain to make dexterity saving throws, and I'll make one for the other goblin boss as well.
Uh-oh.
That would be a 17.
Okay.
16.
Heavy armor. Is it only disadvantage on stealth or all dexterity rolls?
It's just stealth because the noise it makes.
Okay. Oof. 13.
Okay, the 13 fails. And I am going to grab my box of fireball dice because he just threw 2 beads of fireball.
Oof.
The other goblin failed. He's going to die. Oh, I love rolling physical dice. Guys hear this? Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Those
8.
your birthday dice?
Love you, D6. 10.
Happy birthday, by the
20.
way.
Thank you. 30. 37 points of fire damage to Vraak. And half as much to those who passed.
2. It's the 15.
It was. Yeah, we'll call it 16.
16. All right.
And that goblin boss there is definitely dead. Get rid of the Eric Croaker because he only had one set of those. Next is that warg is dead. This warg is still alive. He is again going to charge at Thrandil.
All right.
Make a bite attack. That is a 20 to hit.
Hits.
Randall takes 10, and you need to succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw.
I'm down.
Prone again as this warg bites into you.
I'm in death saving throws.
Yeah, I took that to mean he's unconscious.
Yeah.
Still prone though.
Oh,
Still
I'm
prep.
definitely going to mark the death
Did
saving
you use your
throws
bardic inspiration on one of
with a
those?
white circle.
Ooh. Can I use that?
Yeah.
For I don't know what I'd use it for.
As a matter of
Saving
fact,
throw?
You have to use it on your death
Brack,
saving throw,
Oh,
so that
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
happen until your next turn.
Right,
Brack,
Roger.
you had advantage on that save if you wanted to have used that advantage.
Oh, I did.
Because
Yeah,
Okay,
from
yeah,
the
I
silvery
definitely do
barb.
that advantage.
I'll let you go back and re-roll that dex save if you want. You need
I'm
to
glad
beat a
you did
14.
because it was a crit. That's a 20. I know you can't crit on saving throws,
Yeah,
but still, I
so
rolled a 20 on the die.
whatever damage you did, just add 16 back.
Okay.
And for posterity's sake too, I finally mathed out my damage. It was 48 to that org.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
definitely.
nice.
Arrow went straight through and
Oh,
took some
shit.
entrails with it.
Yeah, that crit was nice.
All right, so Thrandil is down. Mordella is up.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Randall, level
Yes.
3 cure wounds.
Nice.
Goblin boss counter spells. I'm kidding.
Say that fucking dick. I
This
mean,
guy's
if he did, he
ruthless.
did.
Oh,
Alright, so it
man.
was 17 plus my spellcast modifier, so 17 plus 5. Take back 22 health points.
Nice.
Wow.
All right, I'm
Mordella has used
stabilized.
her movement
You are
and
still
her
prone, though.
action. And now the wolves will attack all the goblins. I'm
Yeah.
going to start with the goblin that's bloodied. He's hit for a 23,
That definitely hits.
and that is 8 piercing damage.
Definitely dead.
Okay. That wolf that didn't attack him yet is going to run over here and attack this other one.
Okay.
That's going to be a 20 to hit
That hits.
for 6 piercing.
Okay. Not dead,
The
but
wolf,
hurt.
the wolf to the north of that wolf is going to attack. 23 to hit for 6 piercing.
Dead.
Okay. Go for the goblin to the right of that one.
Okay.
14 to hit.
14 does not hit.
Okay. The final wolf on that goblin is a, let's see, 18 to hit
That hits.
for 5 piercing.
Okay. It is
And then
prone.
the goblin to the north of the warg will do 2 attacks against him real quick. Gonna be a miss on an 8, and then the second one is a crit.
Yep. Definitely a miss on the 8.
All right. The crit is 10
Yeah, dead.
plus
Anything over
3 plus
7.
2, so 15.
It is dead.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Great. The other wolves will stay around that other goblin, and that is final of Mordella's turn.
All right, Vraak, you are up.
Decisions. Thrandil, you're stabilized, right?
Oh yeah.
Or you're
Glad
back
I got
up?
on. Yeah, I'm glad I got on Mordella's good side because I'm over half healed.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to move directly to the southwest of Thrandil,
Okay, 5, 10, 15.
and then right in between the goblin boss and the warg, which is exactly 15 feet away. I'm going to cast. I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians. It's centered on myself,
Okay,
but the radius is 15 feet.
so you'll get them both.
And I will designate any of the friendlies to not be hit, but they will only take damage on a failed Wisdom save at the start of their turn.
Okay. Just
It
remind
says,
me
or
because
when
I
a
might
creature
forget.
enters the area.
Yeah. So I don't really know. So when I enter it for the first time, I don't know if that means
Oh yeah,
whenever they're
no,
affected by
yeah,
it.
Cast it.
yeah,
That means when the spell is cast,
yeah.
yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and
I
then
gotta
at the
wait
Okay,
for
so
start
it
of the
doesn't
wisdom
turn.
mean.
saves. So
Okay, so it's a Wisdom saving
goblin boss,
throw of 15.
goblin boss fails, and the warg also fails.
Perfect. So it's full 3d8. 6 and 3 for 9. 11. They both take 11 damage, and their movement speed is half.
Okay,
Spirit Guardians is terrifying.
this one is
Fuck
now
yeah, it
bloodied.
is.
The warg is still up.
And they're gonna take it at the start of their turn too, I believe.
Yep. If they're still alive.
And if you are all wrapped up, Vraak, it is Ildain's turn.
Yep.
10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna manifest Echo. And I'd like Echo to be. Let's go here. Actually, let's go here. So I'm going to go after the goblin boss myself.
Okay,
And that's an 18 on the dice plus 7, 25.
that hits.
Yeah. That is 2 plus 9, 11 slashing.
All right, he falls dead.
Cool. Action surge against the warg.
Yep.
Oh, grass ticks. And if I had a bardic, it's not going to do anything. So I am going to use Unleash Incarnation.
Did
for
you
my
roll a
echo
1?
No, I rolled a 2.
Okay.
So that's 2 plus 7 is 9. I think even with bardic inspiration, I can't get there.
It's what's Bardic Inspiration? A D6, right?
6 or D6.
D6
Yeah.
at this level, I think.
Yes, you could. On a 3 or higher, you could. Got a 50-50 shot.
I'll try it. That's a 2. Fuck it. Okay. So I'm going to Unleash Incarnation, attack from the Echo. Not using that die again. It's a 19
That
plus
hits.
7 is 26. And that's 5 plus 9 is 14 slashing.
It is definitely dead.
Sweet. And the wolves are probably gonna get it, but 5, 10. Oh, I did my bonus action to do it, so I can't move her yet. So no, my turn is done.
All right, back up to the top. Thrandil.
Yeah, so hearing the wolves off in the trees, Thrandil's gonna say, That goblin's not even with the arrow, and I'm just gonna throw my bow across. Well, stand up first, and then throw my bow across my back, and just let the wolves take care of the goblin. Pass.
Okay. Well, it is the goblin's turn. And that was disrespectful. He is realizing his time is numbered and he is about to be eaten. So he is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's going to shoot at Mordella one last time before he gives up the ghost. That's an 18 to hit.
Does he get disadvantage since he's within 5
That
feet of
is
a
a
target? Or it doesn't matter what target?
They can choose to ignore people in their face. It doesn't impose disadvantage that I know of to be in melee with somebody.
I don't ever charge people disadvantage for it, but I've seen it done before.
Oh, I got you. I wasn't sure.
Does an 18
But an
hit?
18 does hit, yes.
Okay. So Mordella, you'll take 5 piercing damage as this goblin tries his best, knowing his days are numbered.
That's
And
okay.
Mordella, it's your turn as you get shot by this
Just
arrow.
to say it, Mordella rolls a 22 on her concentration check.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Wow, these wolves actually can't make it.
Oh my
That's
God.
okay.
Goblin's toast.
20 to hit
Yes.
for 8 piercing.
Well, actually, it's range 17 at 3, 4. Or no, it's 14, 15. Yeah, it still hits. So anything over 2 damage, he is dead.
It was 8 piercing
Yep.
damage.
So
Okay, yeah, so the
Yeah.
wolves just
they get a
hop on
snack.
there.
Yep. We are out of combat as the wolves begin dining on their goblin. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That was fun. Fun little encounter there for you guys to test out level 5. And
That's
Who needs healing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Can we
I
just
used
do a
little-
short rest instead of burning spell slots?
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys
Yeah, because I was looking at my only. Oof. Yeah, all my spells are defensive. I've got Aura Vitality, but that's a 3rd level, and I don't want to burn that just yet.
Also, we will get to take advantage of the bard's short rest ability, the Song of Rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that now.
So what does that do?
Song of Rest is an additional D6 on top of your hit dice when you roll to regain hit points.
It's just one.
Is it
but
per hit
still-
die or just one?
No, it's just
Oh,
one
okay.
total, but it's
Uh,
still nice.
Just 1d6.
Oh.
Do I spend a
Yeah, I
hit
gotta
dice for
burn
2 hit points? Yeah, fuck it. I'm doing it. I'd rather be at full health.
Winter is
Hit
at
points
full
for after
health
death.
16.
and would like to, while still invisible, sneak up behind Ildain and then drop the invisibility and go, I didn't get hit this time.
Good job. Now we just need to work on your offensive skills.
Yeah. How long does your echo last? Can you just hang out with it or does it have a time limit?
Yeah, I can dismiss it at will. The only time it really goes away before I wanted to is if I don't keep it within 30 feet of me or it obviously gets attacked.
These are so cool. So yeah. There's actually 2 Ildains here. Are you sure you went behind the right one? No, I'm kidding. It's obvious it's their echo.
Cool.
Yeah, so you guys take a short rest, get away, heal up a little bit, and with that, it's kind of early, but we're gonna call a close to the session. We'll move on to Stars and Wishes. And Nick, you're up top. What you got?
All right. Um, Stars, I really enjoyed all our different forms of role playing stuff together today. It was a lot of fun, especially for a session where we had a couple of people missing, so it was a little bit laid back, more time in town. It was great. I really enjoyed that. Let's see. Wishes. Um, really wish I knew which way Timber was gonna go with this mirror thing, but we'll find out more from Max in the weeks to come. That'll be it for me.
All right, I'm gonna go real quick because I'm next on my screen. Stars, the role play in town was really great. I really liked getting to play a variety of characters. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with that, so that's good. And the improv is getting better. I'm also trying to be more descriptive for you guys. So I hope that came through with the temple stuff. Wish for me is to know when to shut up. I keep interrupting you guys during roleplay, and I shouldn't do that. So I apologize to you guys. So I'm gonna wish that I pay a bit more attention to that in the future instead of interrupting. But I get kind of scatterbrained here, and I've got notes like everywhere, and so sometimes I can get a little ahead of myself. So that's a wish for myself. Cook, you're next.
Let's see. Stars to everybody, I guess, as usual. I love role playing episodes, where we get to find out more about the characters and everything, and everybody's inspirations for moving forward and stuff. So I always love a shopping episode as well. I'll never say no to those. Restock on stuff. Um, I'm happy I finally got to use everybody's favorite cleric spell, Spirit Guardian.
Heck yeah.
That thing is hefty. Uh, I don't think they would have survived much longer even if we didn't kill them outright.
I'm just happy
So
we
I
made
love
it
doing
into
that.
round 3.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah. Wishes. No real wishes. Like, I do. Well, you know what? I wish we make it back to Toasting at some point so that I can role play with Gruff. That'll be fun. Um, at some point, I got to tell Ildain I got the job if she doesn't already know. But other than that, yeah, no, this is a great session.
All right,
Hey,
Alyssa.
not to interrupt,
Oh
but
yeah.
an awesome way to tell Ildain would be like just to when we return to Tosin, just to start working at the forge and just be like, "Oh yeah, I work here now." Forgot to
She's like,
tell you
"Where's
that.
Vraak?"
Ildain'd be pissed.
Yeah, your dream finally comes true, and you didn't even take the time to tell her. You're up, Alyssa.
Stars, I role play in this group is just awesome. And even my little like I didn't mean to make some guy that was sober for 6 years drink, so I feel kind of bad about that. But hey, you know,
He had the
orc
bottle in
invasion.
his
He might
desk.
want to start drink. Yeah, he might want to admit it to other people. Um, wishes. Not really anything other than, like, a future role play thing, because this is the second time, and then I always forget it, this is the second time that I think I've been around Mordella when they, kinda mention their magic, and seeing as I literally have an echo out in which I believe that it's a soul, um, or a ghost or whatever. I want to have like a future role play or something with Mordella where I kind of like I'm terrified to bring my echo out around her because I don't know if I'm afraid that she would take it or um or tell me something I'm not ready to hear yet. So that's kind of my wish is just I think I want to have that encounter. I just don't know how it will go.
I really like that idea. That's
Yeah, that
that's
sounds like a
that's
lot of fun.
awesome.
I look forward to that as well."
Yeah, that's powerful stuff. Eric.
Yeah, stars to everybody, and stars to the DM. I thought you juggled everything really good, and the combat encounter was really fun. I'm glad that like fireball and stuff got used. It was really fun, and yeah, the roleplay was really really fun. I thought we had some really cool moments. And wishes. Uh, I wish I was a little bit less of a rules lawyer. I just, I like the game.
Yeah.
And I wish we had more in combat roleplay. I was watching a series while I was at work today, and one fun thing was a cleric used spirit guardians, but instead of saying use spirit guardians,
I usually ask what it looks like and stuff like that. I did mess that up. Usually I ask for spell
no, it's not a
descriptions.
mess up. It's just a style. I thought it was really cool because he was just like these spirits started flying around and like hugging the cleric and then lashing out at all the targets nearby. And for a moment you're like, what the hell is that? But you knew it was spirit guardians. Or like fireball, like a goblin like clutches his chest and then all of a sudden a big ball of fire starts flying towards us. Like it kind of adds another dimension maybe. So
Yeah,
it's not a
definitely-
con on anybody. It's just a style. I
Oh,
think
no.
it'd be a lot of fun.
I will definitely try to lean more into more kind of cinematic and descriptive fights. I like that.
It's tough, man. Like I said, it's all practice. I thought it was fun, and I hope we have a lot more games.
Awesome. Yeah. Caden.
So stars to everyone. I really enjoyed the role play. And getting answers about the dragon, and I really enjoyed that I did not almost die this fight. My one wish is that if I use the spell invisibility, I kind of wish I'd be able to do damage without it immediately like dropping, but I know the spell's written that way. It's just like I can either be invisible and safe like Ildain wants, or I can do damage,
Like you
which
want.
Ildain also wants me to do. There are two Ildains. They want opposite things.
Yeah.
Ildain wants it all.
Yeah. Do bards have the chance to take greater invisibility?
I
since
don't know.
played
I
one.
haven't looked that
I
far
think they
in my
do
spell
because you
list.
also get the chance at invisibility,
Yeah.
so I do think they get the chance at that later. But yeah, Kaden,
Yeah.
I was gonna mention that after you were done. Greater invisibility allows you to do that shit.
Yeah, that comes later. And
Okay.
I don't know. Azarin died
I
before
want to
could
say it's
make
like
it
a
that
5th
far.
level spell. It's high up there.
It is a 4th level spell, and it is on the Bard, Sorcerer, and Wizard spell list.
That's what I thought. Azarin died.
It is an
before I could
awesome
make
spell because now you're casting spells and attacking from invisibility.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Well, I now have plans.
it.